Hello and welcome to another Monday live stream. My name is Shane Olson and today we're going to be sculpting Mr. P.W. Herman. So this is a fantastic design done by Jeffrey John Pigeon. I believe he works at Pixar, and I met him once at a toy fair in California. Super great guy, and I just love his take on Pee Wee Herman. So and with Pee-wee's passing, or Paul Rubens' passing, I thought it would be a nice little tribute to him. He was always one of my huge favorites when I was a younger kid. Love the Pee-wee Herman show. Plus, I worked with Bill Trumbo, who actually did the intro and won an Academy Award for the intro to Pee-wee Herman's Playhouse. So, yeah, I have some ties. So I thought I'd give it a try. This is kind of pushed, so I have some photos over on my other monitor of a bunch of pictures of Paul in his Pee-wee get up. So yeah, here we go. Hello, welcome. What's up, Neil? What's up, Brad? What's up, Mark? How you guys doing? Okay, so to start out, I'm just going to subdivide this a couple times and then get rid of the lower subdivision levels. So this is more dense. And then let's see how we do. Okay. Yeah, I saw you guys all over hanging out on the Discord, sculpting away. That's great. Need to pop in there more. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with this kind of super light skin color. I don't know why I always like sculpting in color. It's just something I like to do. Okay, so I'm trying to decide if I want to just pull his chin out and ignore the and not do a two-parter like I normally do. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll just do what I normally do. Make two pieces. Hey, what's up, Amy? How are you doing? We're always in Discord. That's our secret. Hey, Aika. Yeah, I love it. I love that you guys do that. So welcoming and friendly. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I teach an online course called the 3D Character Workshop, and it comes with a private Discord server. And there are a lot of people in there, and it's very, very active. My dog got into my stash of dark chocolates. No! Oh goodness, that's no fun at all. Yeesh. I think dark chocolate's the worst for dogs too, right? Hey, what's up, David? Oh, Twitch is having problems? Yeah, Neil, would you mind posting the link for YouTube? Hey, Synopsis. Hey, Tom. Long time no see. How are you, sir? I'm doing well, thanks. He's fine now. They got most of it. Just have to make him pee. Oh, gosh. That's some scary business. I had a beagle once, and she chewed the cord to my barbecue. My barbecue had like one of those electrical elements in the back of it, so you could like roast things. I don't know. And so I had to plug it in, and she was out there chewing on it, and it zapped her. She was done for. She never chewed on anything again. Oh, tough lesson. Hey, Julie, how are you? Okay, I think I might made his chin too far out there. No, it just kind of popped, and then she whimpered. Okay, let's see. Let's flip this around. This might be one of those ones where I block out the whole body before I do the face. Yeah, she learned in a hurry. With this one, I might make the whole thing. We'll have to see how it goes. See how fast I can do it. Okay, I'm going to do Sculptris Pro right away. Okay. Not that detailed. Maybe like that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Jeff Pigeon. So I actually have one of his little beavers. He sculpted this super cute. Well, he didn't. He commissioned it. He designed the beaver, and then I can't remember who the sculptor was. I don't know if it says on here, but it's this cute little box. Here, let me go full camera. Hello. So see this little box, this little beaver in there. So I had to buy one, and it comes in all of these different colors. So he's in this little case. So let me pop him out of his little case. He's got the smallest little dinky feet. Let me see if I can get my camera to focus on it. Focus. There he is. I love the shape of him. He's so straight, his little tail. Here. Yeah. Anyway, it's the cutest thing ever. Yeah. Okay, let's see, where are we at? Is it this thing? There we go. Yeah, he has a whole line of them. I like the, so he's got this little pigeon. Well, it's kind of hard to see. See the logo? It's like a pigeon, this little logo. Hey, it focused for a second. There we go. Yeah. Hilarious. Working on a new character. Yep. P.W. Herman. Okay, I'm just going to continue blocking him out. Just the full thing really quick. Pee-wee had been around since the late 70s. Saw him lose on the dating game in character. Oh my gosh. That would be hilarious. I got to see if it's on YouTube somewhere. Big Bobbles, there you go. Okay. So for this one though, I'm going to change it over to gray. Oh, did I not fill these? Oh. Okay, I like to usually lean the rib cage back like this. Havad, hello. I'm doing well, thanks. Welcome to the stream. Oops. Now, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Pee-wee, I kind of grew up with him. You know, the Pee-wee Herman's Playhouse, and he had like a special. He always made me laugh so hard. And of course the movie. Morning, Mr. Breakfast. Hilarious. My mom's cousin was the waitress in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Wow, that's awesome. So I worked with a guy named Phil Trumbo, and he made the claymation intro to Pee-wee's Playhouse. He was it's kind of the art director at a place that I worked at up in Seattle. He won an award for it. We'll just get his pelvis in there. Sculpt to the dude's mom's cousin. Oh, funny. Okay, there's Mr. Pelvis. Mr. Pelvis. That's a different show. Okay, I really like the Sculptris Pro stuff because then I don't have to worry about remeshing anything. I just kind of, yeah, I just kind of have Sculptris Pro turned on, then I just hold down Shift, and I just go over the surface like this, and just kind of flood fills it with that. It's a little too dense still. Let me turn it down. There we go. Something like that is what I'm looking for. And that's just so the density is consistent across everything. In his head. Not a big deal. Okay, and then for his pants, let's just cut them off. Just use a clip curve. Yeah, thanks Nightbot for reminding me. The 2023 live Sculpt Off is happening soon, and they've put up the rules. So if you follow the link in, I think they're just posting it on Twitch right now. But it's if you follow the link I think you can search for ZBrush 2023 Sculpt Off, and you can find the information there. It's looks pretty fun and interesting. It depends on where I'm at, if I'm actually at the summit or home. I don't know yet. But if I'm home, there's a good chance I'll participate. Yeah, Pee-wee's a good time. The spleen in Mystery. Well, I don't know if I've seen that. It's the spleen? That sounds like something from The Tick. That's hilarious. I have heard he was in Buffy. I've seen that death scene. Why don't you have to worry about remeshing when using Sculptris Pro? Because it depends on the type of underlying geometry that you want to have, right? So for me, I'm going to be stitching all these together eventually, and it's basically like I don't think I have seen Mystery Men. I know. I don't watch that many movies. What was I saying? So basically, you're trying to just give yourself enough geometry to sculpt with, and typically the ZRemesher is great for posing your character, because you don't want a super dense mesh when you're trying to pose, and the cleanest mesh you'll get out of ZBrush is a low resolution subdivided mesh. So when you're ready, when it's time, after everything's stitched together and all that, you can absolutely ZRemesh everything and then subdivide it. But a ZRemeshed mesh isn't the best for sculpting on. So it's kind of an end thing that you do. Could you please share the pros and cons of Sculptris Pro, like when to use it? I use it just because it saves me from those tears. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly when I do it. A bird made Mystery Man and comic called the Flaming Carrot. They're both full of slapstick. Oh, that sounds great. I have to check it out now. Okay. So, for example, I mean, this primitive that I have right here, it's made of, it's really clean geometry, actually. But if I want to sculpt on it, like do some detail and stuff, it wouldn't handle it because the geometry is too low. So I just flood fill it with Sculptris. Whoops, what am I doing? I need to do this. But I'm going to pull his arms out a little bit further than what's in the concept there. Okay, and he's got longer legs and a shorter body, so I need to adjust these proportions. Yeah, so I have Sculptris Pro active right now, and to get this even, I just hold down Shift and I just flood fill it with my brush. I just go over it like this. And I can even actually smooth it down, so it's getting smoother. Okay, so let's adjust these proportions now that I have stuff in place. I want his head larger. Let's see. So I'm going to mask the body off. Turn off symmetry for a second, and if you hit this button right here, it will center your gizmo. And then you can center it and then move it down to the base of the neck, so you're scaling from that point. Just scale it up a little bit. Because his head is almost the same size as his chest. And then his legs are quite long. So let's turn symmetry back on and stretch those legs out longer. And what I can do too to check the proportions is I can hit Z and grab this concept, turn the opacity down, and just park my guy behind it a little bit. And I can turn on perspective if I need to. I'd like to switch it to 85 so it's not so much in perspective. And then you can see right here, if I match the top of the shoulders to the bottom of the pelvis, right there, his head is about the right size. His arms could be longer, and definitely these legs, I still don't have them long enough. So let's get them down here. There we go, that's better. And then let's grab these arms. Turn this, and then there we go. Maybe I will kind of put them in a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of how you can check proportions. It's not cheating. The end result is what you're after, so whatever it takes to get there. Okay, but you can see his shoulders are super square. So, and his lats are not that beefy. So let's pull those down and kind of square him off a little bit. And I like to make this separation between the rib cage or torso and the arm, it can actually be this line right here. Good luck, Lori. Yep. So we can just bring that on up. This torso. Hey, Nahana, how are you? It's been a while. I saw a, oh, what was it? A bearded dragon video the other day, and it reminded me of your bearded dragon. It was a bearded dragon that just loved this single sock, like loved it. But it would be all protective of it. The owner would, like, as soon as it got it out of the washer, the lizard would just be like, I want it, give it to me. Then it would just, it's the cutest thing, it would just snuggle up to it and sleep with it. So funny. Okay. So I want this sleeve to be even skinnier. You saw that one too? Yeah, it's so funny. That's not what I wanted. Clip. Well, let's do knife. With the knife, it doesn't use the color that I currently have, so I have to fill it again. The Dobby beard. Also, I think I'm going to be starting my acceleration program back up again. I think I'll just mention that here. And because some of my acceleration program students are in here, and instead of doing a set time limit, I'm just going to make it lifetime like the course, but I'm going to do the actual sessions a little differently than I've done in the past. So I think I'm going to start those up again. Hey, what's up, Peter? Man, you guys are all in here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 of my acceleration students in here. That's awesome. Okay, so like that. Let's kind of block out his feet. Like the sun. Is the acceleration program on the website? No, it's not. If you're interested in the acceleration program, just send me an email, shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com, and I can give you the information. Or if you're already a student, you can just direct message me inside of Discord, and I can tell you about it there. It's basically weekly feedback. It's a mentorship. Okay, let's see. For these shoes, yeah, no problem. I think I'm going to actually use a cylinder. I know I never use cylinders, but this time I'm using a cylinder. Crazy. Getting crazy. Pee Wee Herman. Every time. Oh my gosh. I need to watch that again. The movie is my favorite. I still can't believe Tim Burton did it. I can, and I can't picture anybody else doing it but him, so it's just interesting. Okay, I'm gonna make some space for those legs hanging out. I love when he goes to the joke shop. So funny. Okay. Thanks, Neil. Okay, for this one, I am going to go tighter with the sub D size, just a little bit smaller, so it can hold onto the edges there. Large Marge. I've been interested, but time limit makes it harder to join things. So Amy, that's kind of why I'm making it lifetime. So then you're not like stressed about, you know, wasting your money and your time. That way you can just get to it when you can. Okay, this is not working, so I need to get rid of these facets. So what I'm going to do is split hidden, so it goes into a different subtool, and then subdivide it a couple times. 1, 2, delete lower, just to give myself a better base, and then fill it with this. There we go. Okay, now we can just build out these shoes, I guess, with... you know, I don't really use live boolean that much. Let's have some fun with live boolean. See, that Large March scene scared me as a kid. Not gonna lie. I closed my eyes. Okay. I admit it. I admit it. So, knife cut. Let's see if we can do this. Live boolean. Onyx, that'd be great. I'm wondering how this 2D paper cut would be translated to 3D art. I guess it kind of does look like a paper. It looks like a sticker, doesn't it? So right now, I'm just slicing this up to give myself polygroups, as you can see here. Teach us using Bevel Pro. I don't really use Bevel Pro that much. I kind of just... what I'm gonna do is I need to shape the toe a little more flat. I'm just getting the shape of this shoe, just kind of chopping it up. And then I want to kind of push in the top here to give it an edge, like a loop there. And then I'll put the sole on and then give it a heel and a tongue and this little braided whatever. Okay. So I think it gave me, yeah, it did. It gave me polygroup here, but these are both in the same polygroup and I want them separated. Let's see here. Let me see if I can do it with group by normals. So if you didn't know this or not, most of you do because you've been watching me for a while, but some of you may be new here. If you are, I give away this user interface and my brushes, and it also comes with this menu. And this menu just makes it so you don't have to dig down deep into the tool menu on the right-hand side. It kind of brings everything that's most often used, at least for me, to the surface so I can access it very quickly. And one of those is this group by normals right here. And if I click on this, so it's not, this bend is not quite 45 degrees. So it has this little 45 degrees tolerance right here. And I can't remember if I need to raise it or lower it to say anything above this number, group it. There we go. So I put it down to 24. And now this is the group that I wanted. I wanted this like this, okay? And then we can, it didn't do it symmetrically. So what I can do now is mirror and weld it, which is also in the menu, mirror and weld. And now we have it symmetrical, okay? And I'm gonna solo this. And what I wanna do is shape these shoes from the front. So it's funny because it looks like the front of the shoes are kind of squared off, but then they go down into this toe that's sharp. And I think I'm just gonna do the whole thing kind of square. And what I really love to use is this Move Infinite brush. I'll tell you why, because I used to just use the Move brush, turn off topological, and when I would try to adjust this toe, you can see that the bottom is not being moved, right? So I'm going to Move Infinite, make my brush a little larger, and that's going to shoot the move all the way down through both sides of the shoe. So it's moving everything all the way through. So I don't have to worry about it not adjusting the bottom. Hey, Mr. J, that is Pee-wee. There's no group by Abby. No, what did I miss, Ms. Bobbles? I'm going to square off the back a little bit too, just for the shape language of it. And then kind of make the whole thing kind of shape it more like a shoe from the front, so it kind of has a curve going through it. Young Frankenstein. Oh, man, it's been too long. Putting on the Ritz. Is it that one? Okay. So, I know, Bubbles, you know, I could make a channel over there to do that. Okay, so now somebody is asking, why don't I ZRemesh? What are the benefits of ZRemeshing? Well, now that I have this, I have it all separated into different polygroups. I could easily ZRemesh this while keeping polygroups, and it'll give me a more usable mesh that I can move around, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I could use this, but a ZRemesh mesh is just a little more predictable, a little more functional. So I could even, well, let's save this. Always save your work. One. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to duplicate these feet in case I need to go back to them. If you ever, there's a lot of people that get anxious about like moving forward, like breaking the stuff they've already done. And if you ever feel that way, there's two things you can do. One of them is save off a new version, so then you don't have to worry about messing anything up because you can always go back to that other version. Or the second thing you can do is just duplicate your subtool, and that way you have one to go back to, so then you're not afraid to move forward. Is the 3D Character Workshop live? Like, is there live? Most of the videos are pre-recorded, and then I do one live character review at the end of every month. Well, it's actually turns out to be the beginning of the next month. We do a character, a challenge, like a student challenge every month, and I go live and talk, kind of review those characters. But I also have an acceleration program that is not listed on the website that is weekly feedback, weekly live feedback. And if you're interested in that, I'm going to be starting that up again. And if you want information on that, you can send me an email, shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. Yeah, honey buns, that's I would back in the day when I was just barely getting used to ZBrush, I'm right there with you. I would just box model the thing, but it's so easy to do in here once you get used to it. So I'm going to keep groups. I'm going to turn smooth groups down because I don't want it to soften this very much. I can keep creases, detect edges, 5,000, sure. Let's see what it gives us. Thanks, Brad. Brad's one of my acceleration students. Oh goodness. That just decided to crash my ZBrush. That's not good. This is Photoshop. This is me preparing the image. ZBrush just that's why you save right before you do something big like that. And that's why, yeah, that's why you save. All right. No. Okay, let's check out our quick saves. 208. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so let's go start fresh. Project. And then load tool, and we'll go grab that. There we are. Okay, that's crazy. I guess I saved it right. Okay. That was weird. I don't know why it decided to do that, but okay, we'll do it again. Duplicate. Yeah, but the autosave didn't save where I was at. So remember to autosave and save, like double safety. Okay, let's try it again. But this time I'm just going to keep groups, and I'm not going to do the detect edges part. Let's just do 0.5. Hopefully it doesn't crash. There we go. Okay. That's good. Okay. Now that's a little high resolution. So we can just do half. And half again. Half again. Now we get it really low. That's good. Okay. So now what we can do is we can take this top here, and it's almost giving us that edge. I have to load my image back in. It's got this cool texture on the suit that I'd love to try and put some noise on. Okay, so see this little edge? This little edge all the way around? What I can do is I can polygroup this. So I'll go to my Z modeler, and if I hover over a face, you can see it has this little orange directional line. See as I go around, can you guys see that? It's kind of hard to see. So what I'm going to do is hold down spacebar on the face. Okay, it can't be on an edge or a vertex. It has to be on a face. Then you go polygroup, and then you say polyloop right here. Polyloop. Okay, and what that's going to do is if I'm aiming in the direction of that polyloop and I click it, then it gives me that polyloop all the way around. See that? Now what I can do is I can hover over this and do extrude polygroup all, and then I can grab this face and push it in and give me that little ledge for his shoe. Okay, and now to make the sole of the shoe, I basically need to break this piece off. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this shoe again, hide the original, and then basically I just want the bottom of it. So I can just hide these groups. Here, let's turn on double so you can see what I'm actually doing. Okay. I'm hiding all of the groups that aren't the base sole. Okay. Every 30 seconds. That'd drive me crazy, I think. And then go delete hidden. So all of that is gone. And then I still have extrude on, but I want to extrude all of these. So I want to do everything. Let's see. Using all polygons right here. So with the Z Modeler brush, you have kind of a function up here in this top box, and you have a target. Like, what do you want to do, and what do you want to do it to, basically. And then you get these modifiers, like, you know, what do you want it to be at the end? Okay, so this is all polygons. I can just click, drag, and extrude it out like this. And there's my soul. Okay. And what I can do now is I can crease polygroups. So let's go crease, level 3, and I have this button called crease polygroups. Click on that, and it's going to put a crease around all those polygroups. And I probably will want a crease here. So I can go, whoops, crease, edge, click on this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now when I turn on dynamic subdivisions, it should smooth out, and I can crank this up one. Okay, so now I get these nice smooth soles. And now I can grab this black. I don't want it totally black, so I'm going to go a little purplish. Okay, and then fill the object. There are my soles. And then I can go back to the shoes themselves and grab this white. But again, I just don't like to have things perfectly white. So I'm going to go kind of yellow them up just a little bit. Just making hard. See, why are you creasing? Crease is beneficial in your workflow. Just making hard edges or other applications. Okay, so no, creasing and hard edges are different. So creasing works with subdivisions, whereas hard edges work with the way your mesh is, the render is smoothing it out. Like say in Maya or Blender or something like that, when you make an edge, a hard edge in there, it's going to make it super crispy because it's messing with the normals of the surface. I mean, I'm getting kind of technical now, but creasing just basically holds on to that edge as you subdivide. So if, for example, if I just turn on subdivide, you can see that this whole thing is very soft. It's actually kind of nice. I like it. I might stick with it soft, but if I were to crease these edges, so again, I can just hit crease polygroups, and you can see it straightens them up and creases them out. In an animation game studio, do lead character modelers actually get to do much modeling, or do they spend most of their time fixing other people's work and giving notes? No. A lead is an enabler, basically. So a lead makes sure his team has enough work and knows how to do the work. But they're typically not, they shouldn't be like just, you know, like babysitting the team. They should be actually producing. So you should be but sometimes it's not always the case. It depends on the team. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of how creasing works. Okay, so if I unsolo that, you can see the sole now, you can see the edge. But usually I don't like my creases that sharp. So there's a couple things I can do now. With this shoe, I can turn the crease level down to 2. And what that means is it's going to hold on to that crease for 2 subdivisions, and then it's going to let it go, and then it's going to subdivide that from there on. It doesn't really work with dynamic subdivisions. I guess it does. Never mind. I take that back. Okay, so I crank the subdivisions to 4, and now you can see how it's not as sharp. It catches the light in a very nice way, and that's what I like. So let's do the same thing to that sole. So again, we'll turn the crease level down to 2, not 1, 2. 2, there we go. And then crank this up to 4. And you can see that it's just catching the light ever so softly. Okay, now typically I like to use live boolean, but with this shoe I've just been extruding things and showing you how to do box modeling with it. And I'm gonna actually make the hole in the back of his shoe where it goes down into there, where his foot goes in. I'm going to push that down in there. So for this area, I'm going to turn the subdivisions off for a second and solo this, and then just solo this piece. Hit Control W, which will put it in a new polygroup. And now I have that bit in a new polygroup. And now I can extrude it. But I want to extrude polygroup all, not everything, and then just push it down in. Okay. Just far enough that it looks believable. And I can turn on dynamic subdivisions again. And you can see that this edge is not creased and this edge is not creased. So I can just hit crease polygroups again. And now it just fixes that little area there. And then I can put the tongue in there. So, okay, so to get that little tongue, it's got this, it's kind of rounded. There's no reason you can't borrow pieces from your current mesh. So right here, I kind of have this rounded thing right there. I could use that, or I could use the piece down in here. Let's solo this out again. I could use this piece. This is actually better geometry, I think. Well, I don't really have good geometry. I pushed this all the way through the base. That's all right. That's funny. You can see it right there. If I hit double, see how it's pushed through. I'm gonna do that again. Not push it so far down. Maybe that much. Okay. Glad I noticed it. Okay, crease polygroups. There we go. You know, this is... I'll just use this piece. Okay, so I can duplicate this shoe again. Isolate this polygroup. And then isolate this front piece that we're going to use for the tongue. Just this piece right here. Delete hidden. Okay. And now I can take this, center my gizmo on it, and kind of turn it, rotate it around. And I can extrude it. See how I didn't have to go to all this trouble to remake that? Hey Tattoon, how are you? Delia, welcome. Okay, so extrude polygroup all. Just extrude this out. And I kind of want to bend it a little bit. So looking from this direction, do a move infinite, and we'll just bend it just a little bit. And file. I think you meant to say fine. That's good. And then we can just take it and bury it down in here like so. How to slice subtool without deleting any part of it? Like, how do you just cut it? Okay, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's give him a heel. And for the heel, I'm going to use... Hold on one second, I'll answer your question. I'm just going to use an insert cube that's split. we'll shrink it down like this. And what a split cube means is that it has, I've cut it this direction, and this direction. So basically what I can do is, here, let's line this up. Yeah, he's got nice shoes. He's a well-dressed peewee. Okay, so the top tapers in, and then it kind of bends inward a little bit. So I'm going to mask this off. Center the gizmo. I'm just going to scale it out. Have I ever owned a pair of those shoes? No, the closest thing I had was back when swing dancing was popular. I had some wingtip shoes that had kind of big heels on them. They were black and white. Those were the closest thing to Pee Wee Herman shoes I ever had. Okay. So I'm going to hide everything so I can grab these corners. This one, and that one. Yeah, pimpin'. I like those shoes. They were nice. They were Doc Martens, so they had really, really thick soles on them. They're kind of gel. Hold on, let me see if I can find. They were definitely Pee Wee Herman shoes. Okay. Yeah, here they are. They look like this. Yeah. Total Pee Wee Herman shoes. All right. Buy them now. Hurry. Yeah, but it made a resurgence for a little bit. Yeah. Sorry. Slice curve brush is what you're looking for. Thank you, Neil. I forgot to answer the question. I got all sidetracked with wingtip shoes. Okay. You know, I don't like those heels yet. You got it? Yep. Slice curve. Okay. So I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Now it's Birkenstocks. Birkenstocks and what else? What are those called? Crocs? Crocs. Crocs and socks. I warped the shoes too much, and now I gotta line these heels up, and I'm just not liking them very much. Crocs and socks. I think those will work okay. I just don't like the alignment of the... Yeah, because now I have to move this over. I did the cut through there kind of weird. Okay. Let's give him some leggies. Leggies. And we should save it, probably. thought the ones I had higher heels on it. See, now I'm distracted with looking for shoes. What do you guys do to me? I'm not seeing them, but they had a higher heel than that, just a little bit. Anyway, all right, I'm done with the shoes. Hey, look, Lori, thanks. Man, I'm using another cylinder. What's going on? This is the first time I haven't done the face first. Oh, not the first time. Okay, those shoes are kind of tall. So I'm just going to grab the base and shrink them up just a little bit. Shrink them up. Yeah, yeah. It's true. Okay, I gotta shrink this too. Okay. That feels better. Hey Charlie, how are you? Loafers. We had penny loafers. Remember penny loafers? You'd stick like a penny in the little, they had a little pocket on the top. Spending all my time on shoes. Okay, moving on. I'm not gonna make the little thing yet. Yep, dress loafers. You know, when I was for me it was skater shoes. The skater shoes gave me what is it called? Plantar fasciitis. Some weird doctor term. It just basically means it stretches out that muscle that is tied into your heel. It like pulls it too far. I won't go into any more details. It's not too pleasant. Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to stitch these pants together so I can smooth them out. Mom would put him there until she found out you're taking him to go to the penny candy store. Taking my penny loafers to the penny candy store. That's cute. All right, split hidden. Here we go. You've had planners? Oh man, yeah, it's not a good time, that's for sure. I used a racquetball. It was a little softer than a golf ball. And what are those shots? Those big, oh, ugh, just thinking about it gives me chills. All right, I'm gonna do knife cut. That's gonna give me a poly group across the bottom. And then I'm going to stitch it together. Well, I might as well lop off the top too. Why not, right? There we go. Little pair of peewee pants. All right, let's stitchy-loo. Stitch to Maloo. That's what you do. Okay, now at this point, I have all my groups, so I might as well ZRemesh while keeping groups. We can do it, but we need to I'm going to save it one more time because I crashed last time. I don't know if it's going to crash again, so better safe than sorry. Okay. ZRemesh. Keep groups. I'm going to leave that alone. Sure. Oh, I did not have symmetry turned on. Let's do it again. Let's be symmetrical this time, people. Okay. It's better to... I learned this from the good old Joseph Drust in Drust We Trust. He worked for Pixelogic back in the day. And he told me that it's best to go higher resolution to ZRemesh first because it will stick to your volumes better, and then go half after that. So we can click on half, which basically, so this number is in the thousands. So if it was set to 5, that means 5,000. It's going to ZRemesh it. It's going to try to make the density 5,000 polygons. And if you look up here, it's just it's like a pirate code. It's like a guide more than anything. It doesn't, it's just kind of get it in this area. And so it tries. Okay, so now I'm going to hit half, and that's supposed to cut the density in half. And you can do that a couple times to get it lower resolution. But sometimes, like it's doing now, it will reduce the volume between your polygroups. And that kind of happens when you have this smooth group set to 1. So I'm going to undo that a couple times and turn this down. Yeah, one of my acceleration students showed me this. Turn this down, and then it won't. Eric's usually watching. Are you watching, Eric? You hanging? Are you lurking today? Okay, let's try this at half. And then do it again. There it goes. See how it doesn't go in on itself as much. Smooth group will smooth between the polygroups when it does the ZRemeshing. Okay, so now I can smooth it. Let's turn down the intensity before I do that. And yeah, it just keeps it nice and clean, but sometimes you'll have to go back and just kind of clean it up and straighten things out. But again, I say this more often than not. A cleanest mesh in ZBrush is a low resolution subdivided mesh. I don't know what I did with the symmetry here. See how it's got this quirky symmetry? So you want to turn off, to fix that, you want to turn off local symmetry and then do a mirror and weld. Okay, and that will fix your symmetry. And then you can smooth it straight. Whoops. Nice and clean. Okay. Now I can do the same thing where I have all these polygroups. I don't necessarily want to crease these polygroups, but I want to crease everything else. So I can go crease polygroups at a level 3, sure. And then when I subdivide, I can turn this up to a 4 again. But see how it creased these? The line right here. And so if I want that not creased, I can just go to my Z modeler, hover over the crease, hold down spacebar, go to crease, but go to edge loop complete. Now if you hold down Alt, it will uncrease that. So now this is what it looks like. Kiwi pants. Okay, so now that we have that, we can grab this color and fill it. And I'm going to spend all time on the body. Okay, and then what I can do too is do UVs, and then I can use the noise maker to kind of try and make this gingham pattern. I might do that next week. We'll see. Okay, so I want to make the jacket now. Grab this body. And I'm going to pull it down over this. Actually, let's do it a little more cleanly than that with using a mask. Oops. Okay. So if I turn off symmetry, center that, turn it back on, then I can scale it down and go down here and scale it out a little bit. Maybe not. Blur that mask out. Is it? Yeah, it should do it. Okay. Yep. we joke about that all the time in the acceleration program because, you know, most of my feedback is like how to fix the crotch. I don't know why, but most people just don't understand how either the male or the female crotch works. Crotch talk is always necessary. And so I say, crotch talk with Shane. And hey, what's up, Ashley? You always just join at the perfectly right time. Right when we're doing crotch talk. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Ashley, you said you're not going to the summit, correct? Because of the airplane thing. It's going pretty good. I'm only 2 states away, and it's like I found a cheap flight, but I don't know. Shane after dark, crotch talk. Goodness. Too much virus still, yep. I hear you. Well, maybe next year or sometime. So are you gonna participate in the sculpt off? Please tell me about your 3D workshop program, Tattoon. Yeah, sure. What do you? Let me know. I'm stuttering. Maybe I'm thinking about it. I have one in mind, and if I can like come up with a good idea for it, then yes. And if I stay home, if I go, it's kind of hard, unless I sit in one of their rooms at Noman and do it, you know, which I don't know if they're going to do that this year or not, or if it's going to be all online. If it's all online, then probably not. I don't know. I don't know. It is a really good prompt for sure. It's kind of it reminds me of like D&D collectibles, right? Little figurines. So, Tattoo, what specifically would you like to know? Wait, did it just get rid of my poly paint when I did a knife? Oh well. He's gray. Let's see. If you go to my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com, I'll just show you a little preview of it. If you go here and you scroll down to right here, click on this purple button right here, it will go to a page that will tell you all about it. So yeah, this is tons and tons of information on it. So fancy. Okay, you know what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try a knife slice off this. Oh, come on, will it not work? No. Will it not work if something is hidden? Okay, split hidden. Here we go. Symmetry is on. Knife that sucker. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's what I wanted. Oh, I gotta stretch for a second. Ugh. So if you guys don't know, Ashley is another streamer on here, A Cubed. She streams Wednesdays, same channel. But unlike me, she makes amazing monstrosities. Okay. I need to take a really fast break. I've been drinking too much coffee. You're cryptid. All right. I will be right back, guys. Sorry. I'll be right back. One sec. Okay. How's it going? You saw a leaf float by the window. Yeah, sometimes they get PP Herman. Okay. What are you guys doing? Okay. Back to it. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Symmetry. Turn on symmetry. There we go. Now let's shrink this up a little bit and sharpen up that shoulder area. Okay. There we go. And then see this pinch right here? I want to get that pinch in there. So what better brush to use than the pinch brush? Okay, but I don't want it that strong. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Will you make your Pee-wee? Yeah, we won't go there. All right. Too much. Okay, so after you pinch it, you kind of have to come in here with smooth and smooth it out so the transition up to that pinch is nicer. Same with going up to that edge right there. Okay. And then for this front area, this is where I like to use either, well, I can do a live boolean and make a shape that goes down and cuts it out, or I can do like a shape just to make that area a polygroup, and then I can ZRemesh it and see if it gives me what I want. And it doesn't have to be super precise. Let's see, it goes almost down to this. It goes way lower than I got it. Just above that pinch. Okay. And wider. You can take the clay buildup and no. That's not what we do. I'm just curious about how you place your keyboard when you're using the Cintiq for good ergonomics comfort while sculpting. I have a keyboard tray, and it's made by 3M because it swivels left and right, up and down, and all sorts of different adjustments, and including the tilt back and forth. And it's just underneath my Cintiq, so then I don't have to reach very far. That's my favorite. Yeah, dig in. All right, you know what I'm gonna try too? Let's try making a polygroup right at this seam. Okay, why didn't this get, oops. I guess I can just slice it and get another. Okay. 60% keyboard. I have a short sort of behind the Cintiq. Really? A 60%? What does that mean? Is that like a shorty keyboard and you have it up on the top? So you're like having to reach up top? I don't know that I could do that. Okay. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. Okay, I'm going to mirror this. And then we're mirror and weld. Careful, Casey. I use a regular full keyboard and place it on the side. It has to have a long enough cord. Oh, okay. You know, honestly, that is the best way for your back to have it. If your Cintiq is, if you can put it in your lap and you actually have one of those remotes. I don't know where mine is. I have the 27-inch Cintiq, and the remote is magnetic and it doesn't quite stick to this specific model very well, so it just slides down, so I don't really use it. My friend Justin Fields, he uses it in his, he just puts it in his hand and kind of keeps it down here, but I just can't memorize the keys as well, so I just end up using the keyboard. But when I had a 24 HD that had the built-in buttons, that's why I have the user interface the way I do, so everything is accessible without me having to use too many hotkeys. I mean, when I'm working, I'm only using Control Alt Shift and the occasional like C to grab colors and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really use too many hotkeys. And then of course I put my my menu on the back button of my pen. I have the 24-1, but I get a footrest to make my, yeah, that's great. That's great. You just put the remote on your desk. It just moves too much. Would it be possible to see your keyboard arrangement? It's something I've always struggled. My camera is fixed to a tripod, so I can't really grab it, and it's not a webcam, it's a full-on DSLR camera, so I can't take it off and show you, or else I would. The best thing I could do is a picture, but I don't even think I have a picture of it. I gotta see. Oh yeah, that's cool. Your little doggy bed. Okay, now I have to look. Hold on a second. I don't even know if I have a picture of it. And I don't want to take a picture of it now because it's a total mess. Let me just see if I have one. It's been too long. I don't think I do. I just wanted to do a quick look to see, but I don't see any. Well, I'll have to think. I'll have to try and get one and show you next, maybe next week. The new 27, I don't know. This is the old 27, so. I have it behind my Cintiq, so I have to reach around. Yeah, I can't do that. I have to have it. I have to have the keyboard or the Cintiq in my lap. For resumes, when would one consider themselves an expert in a certain skill set as opposed to experienced? I always feel like I'm trying to improve, even though I think that that's a good question, Quicks. I don't know that I have an answer for that. What would you say, Ashley? What would you say to that? Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one more poly group right here because I'm going to give this coat some thickness. Like this. Hey, we'll start. What's going on? One of those one-handed keypads so far. I only use it for Photoshop. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I have one of those 3D connection things that's really cool. And the reason I like it is because it kind of unifies the navigation between programs. That's my favorite thing about it. But again, it's like I have to memorize all these shortcuts, and I'm not good at doing that. Okay, let's try this. I don't know what I'm gonna get. ZRemesher is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna get. Okay, here we go. I should have saved it, but okay, not bad, not bad. Let's do half. So it just kind of smooths it out. Let's do half again and just see what it does. Okay. So since this is going to be for, well, I would like it to be for 3D printing. I typically make my characters 3D printable if I can. So what that means is I usually won't give something like, I won't make it like a typical cloth with thickness. I will extrude pieces in and keep them solid and watertight. So for that, I would do the Z modeler and extrude this whole thing in. And I'm going to make these two the same poly group. And see what I can do here. I might inset it first. Let's see. I've got to think about this, sorry. Okay, I'm going to make a poly loop. Like this. And then if I want to make these the same group as this one, what I do is I hover over a face, and I go polygroup, single poly, and then if you click, you'll see it says, if I hold down shift, it will pick it. So I click it, then pick it with shift, then let go, and now I have the green, and now I can fill that. So essentially what I want to do is take this and extrude it inwards, everything. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to try it. Extrude. Maybe something like that. This isn't the best right here, but I think it'll work. Because then that'll just give me that little lip. And I can smooth this out just a little bit. And then extrude it again. And smooth it again. Hey Peter, welcome. It's going good. Andy Christ. A bit early, probably a question for later. Do you have tips for facial areas, especially the cheeks? The best advice I can give you for doing cheeks is think about how the skull works. And think about, because that will kind of help guide you on the facial planes, the planes of the face. And I just did a Peaky Blinders guy. Hold on a second. Last live stream, and I really focused on his cheeks and the planes of his cheeks. Let's see if I can open that and show you. So with this guy, you can kind of see the planes and how it, like how this whole cheekbone transitions and goes back towards the ear, and this brow line right here, and then how it, you know, and then there's a plane underneath the eye right here. Thanks, Ash. Yeah, that's a good answer. It's not super important. More terms for selling yourself and your resume. Your work speaks for you. Art isn't like other jobs. Tiering skill is very dependent on the position and people hiring. Absolutely. Hey Shane, how can I get used to getting the proportions right when blocking out, and also not to make the block out so wobbly and looking? So my my suggestion for that is measure, 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 and then measure again, and then measure again. That's all I'm doing the whole time I'm doing blockouts. Is I'm experienced, so I can visually measure in my head just by looking at it. But for unexperienced people, I would constantly go, okay, how tall is this head, and would it fit in this chest? Or how, you know, just compare things to other things. Like the thickness of this, how does it compare to the thickness of his leg? Or, you know, you're just comparing and measuring over and over and over and over again, and compare them to multiple things, not just one thing. And as far as keeping things clean, smoothing is your friend, and ZRemesher is your friend for keeping your mesh nice and low. Kind of like I'm doing here. You know, I'm not really liking what's going on under the coat. If you see someone whose head won't fit in their chest cavity, run. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm taking it back. I'm going to duplicate this. And then I am going to delete everything. So I'm just not liking the result of that. What it's doing kind of internally. So I am going to give it thickness, and then I'll close the holes up. There's so many ways of doing things. If one way is not working out, there's no shame in trying it a different way. Can we cut or slice two subtools at once? Not two subtools. You have to merge them into the same subtool, do the slice, and then split them back away. Okay, this is better. I'm not a big fan of this, but what can you do? Okay, so I can turn on double. You can see this. And then I'm going to ZRemesh this using same, keeping groups, and see what it gives me. That's better. See, it gives me a nice pole here and wraps this around. And then two poles, one here and one here, and that's okay. It's better than it was. Better than it was. Oops. Okay, now I can even turn on dynamic and give it thickness right here, like dynamic thickness, if I want to. That's nice and clean. And then hide the original. I could even use this old one as bubblegum, is what I call it, which bubblegum is like the filler in the center of the object so it doesn't hollow out. But or you can delete the back side and then Dynamesh and it will fill it. That's another way to do it. Bubblegum. It's like chewing gum and shoving it in the hole. I don't use Ryan's tools. I've played with them in the past, but I typically don't. I need to. I use very little bells and whistles, very few. As a friend of mine says, just sculpt the damn thing. That's what I do. Only snake hook and masking. That's all you need. Okay, this is gonna make a mess, isn't it? Ugh. I just wanted to make a poly group, and then I'm going to separate these arms out because I want to cut these arms too. But I want to cut them like this. But if I do that, oh, I thought it would mess this up. It didn't. Sweet. That's a happy thing. Nice. Okay, so I do want to, whoops, that's not going to work. Split this off. And then we can ZRemesh this while keeping groups. Probably at a lower count, like 1000. Keep groups. And sometimes you can just click on same again and just run it again and it will clean it up sometimes. Here, let me turn the smooth groups down to 0. It doesn't always do the best. Okay, I'll just leave it. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Mask off the... Just try and keep it clean. I'm trying to get that mask to... There we go. I don't want to shrink the edges, but if you get smoothing too close to those edges, it shrinks them down. I just want to even all this geometry out so it's nice and smooth. There we go. And then I can crease the poly groups again. Crank this up to 4. And then move these arms Let's do move infinite. There we go. Just kind of scoot this around the arms to match a little better. All right. All that for that little coat, huh? Okay. You know what? Let's just work on the face for a while. I think I've spent enough time on the body. Let's do the face before it gets... I'm running out of time. But I'm going to fill these first, keep it gray. And then grab the skin color. There we go. Okay. Actually, I like your little corgi spot down underneath your desk so you can keep you company while you're kicking butt. Actually, I want topological. I need to move this a little bit more. Let's give him that giant nose. Had to move it behind me since he gets spooked every time I raise and low. Oh yeah, I forgot you got a standing desk. How do you like that? I had one for a while, but I don't use it because now all the cords connecting my computer, they're too short. So if I were to raise it, they would get stuck and pull the cords out of my computer. I need to fix it or put my computer up on the desk, something. So I have a standing desk that I don't use. I need to change it. Okay, so it's going to go up like that. I could picture Corey going, "What is that?" Checked your workshop details. There's something mentioned like 5 years of Q&A replays. Yeah, so I've had the course going for 5 years, and I used to do Q&As quite a bit. I've slowed down and I've moved them over to an acceleration program because it was just too much to do for that long. But I left all the recordings for you to watch. And they're 2 hours a piece. And it's just me giving feedback. So let me show you really fast. I want to go through and like pull out some nuggets out of there. I did the course. Me. Yeah. There's students here that have taken it though. Okay, so this live Q&A, I'm logged in here. So here's the main workshop, and there's a couple characters, and then here's the Q&As. If you go in here, there's me. Like here, I'll click on one of these. So every month we have a student challenge, and then at the end of every month I do a review of the characters and give feedback. So we did a Star Wars challenge, and that's what this was. And thanks, Mr. J. That's me as well. So if you scroll down, you can just see how much each of these are 2 hours. Not saying you have to go through all these, but there's a lot of feedback going on here. A whole bunch. Hey, there's Pee Wee Herman. So anyway, it just kind of goes on for a long time. There you go. And there's even more than this that I didn't want to put all of it up there because there's so much. So if you, yeah, if you want weekly feedback, I now have an acceleration program. Yeah, Neil helped me put them up there. Shout out to Neil. There are a handful of things that come up over and over and over again on those. Yep, news usually make the eyeballs too small, which makes them bulge out. There's so many. I need to write them down. Those are like the nuggets. Oh, you've done some digital tutors? That was like 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while since I did anything for digital tutors. Yeah, there's so much information in there now. It's been, like I said, 5 years of material. Like just the one character by itself. Let's see, which one? This guy, the sirloin character. If you look, so I take him from initial blockout all the way to Substance Painter as a game character. So yeah, with Brandon Bankston, he's also another streamer on here. But yeah, he and I went through and taught the students how to do Substance Painter textures on this guy. So anyway, this is a full walkthrough. It's like 66 hours worth of material just in that one alone. Nightbot's talking about the sculpt off again. If you guys have the means, please join us in the sculpt off this year. All right, Ashley, thank you for hanging out. Always a pleasure. Did you, Julie? Awesome. That's good to hear. I always wonder who watches what, you know? This episode has much more information than most recent ones. This is so neat. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I try to mix it up, not do the same thing over and over. Okay. And I also stream occasionally on my own YouTube channel. It's just 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you want to check that out. And subscribe so you're notified when I go live over there. I'm trying to stream more. And not just ZBrush, but other programs that work along with ZBrush as well. Okay. Yes, I love teaching. I really do. Link, please, to what, Tattoon? Are there any plans to expand the 3D Character Workshop, new lessons, 3D printing? Yes, yes. I need to finish Lion-O, and that's a 3D printing character, and I want to do, well, I don't want to say too much, because if I don't do it, I'm not, I get myself in trouble. Oh, Nightbot is not, no, that's Neil. Neil's putting up the links. my YouTube channel is 3D Character Workshop. Well, it's actually Shane Olson's 3D Character Workshop, so let me see. So it's this right here. So my name and then 3D Character Workshop. This is it. Yeah. Neilbot. Yeah. How often? I want to do once a week, just like I do on this channel. It's just I'm trying to ramp up to it. That's true, Wilberth. How you doing? Okay. Let's see, for this mouth, he's got a really interesting mouth. Give him those smiley eyes. And notice how I'm not squishing the sphere. That's not what... Oh no. It just chunked. I had a little freeze there. I hope it doesn't crash. How much more is left on the Lion-O? Quite a bit. I have the full blockout done. And I did his clothes in a different program just to try him out. It's when I was learning that other program. So I need to actually finish him in actual ZBrush and just print it out. It looks like those guys from Popeye. What are those things called? Those guys with the long noses? They're like generic sailors. I know some of you guys will know who I'm talking about. Yeah, save, right? Thank you. Goon. Yeah, those goons. That's right. They call them goons. Is it Alice the Goon? Is there one? I thought there was several. So weird. You ever modeled a stylized human skeleton? If so, I'd love to see it. I'm doing one for the monthly challenge and struggling with the pelvis and feet. I have actually here on the channel. I did one that is I don't know. Hey Neil, would you mind finding that? If you have a second, please. I'm trying to remember the artist that I used as the concept. It's been a while. Sycra, thank you, Mark. Yeah, Sycra did this really cool kind of stylized skeleton with muscles, and it really it was very close to the style that I like to sculpt, so I thought I'd take a stab at it. I should do it again. Sculpt it again. Gotta turn on local symmetry. Like, why is this behaving weird? If scale is anytime if scale is behaving strangely, make sure you have a local symmetry turned on. You should do a duo with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Great Outdoors. What a great movie. Oh, I love that. I don't think I sculpted the feet on that one. Casey, Colin, are you in the workshop by chance? What the heck? Siri thought I was saying something. So here on this channel, I stream every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And on my channel, I try and stream every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on my channel. So 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if I have time, I try and do that. But it's been kind of difficult. You are, Colin. So did you check out the anatomy section? I don't know. I don't think I have a stylized skeleton in there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, YouTube doesn't allow for links. Only Twitch does. Unfortunately. I just kind of want to give myself a landmark. I didn't want to go too deep with that shape. Just kind of wanting to give myself in the general art section. There you go. Thanks, Neil. You're the best. Okay. Whoops. Didn't mean to get that close. So with this mouth, it's the teeth and the tongue that are going to make this mouth work, but for now I'm just going to pull this in, and you can see it stretches the geometry, so I can just come back in with yeah, I didn't do a stylized skeleton in the anatomy section. That's a failure on my part, but I did do a stylized skeleton in the Pixelogic live streams when it was Pixelogic. The YouTube channel is still Pixelogic, so okay, mirror and weld. And I want to pull this back. And then, really, that's a great point. Yeah, George has some great stylized skeletons and anatomy. Yeah, huge shout out to my student George Zaki. He's amazing with that stuff. So he has a male and a female with a stylized skeleton. It's fairly generic, but it's great. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so this is his art station. I mean, he loves blocking out anatomy, but this one right here has a full skeleton. And then this one right here has a full skeleton. And you can or this one. So yeah, these two, and he sells them on Gumroad for super cheap. But it's got yeah, there you go, stylized skeleton, full anatomy, fantastic, and it's pretty much the way I sculpt things. So yeah, it's great. It's Shane approved. Super great. Thanks for remembering about that. There you go. Link on his Gumroad. Highly recommended. Okay, let's see. All right, you guys, let's turn on perspective. He's slowly getting there. Yeah, there's a lot of adjustments I need to make, but we're on our way. We'll continue this guy next week. Thank you, everybody, so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Good old P.W. Herman. Yeah. All right, you guys. And again, I'm going to be starting up the acceleration program again. If you're interested, please send me an email to shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com, or you can DM me over on Discord if you're already a student, and I'll give you the info on that. And if you're interested in the course itself, if you have any more questions, like you, Tatoon, if you have any more questions, just go to my website and there's a contact, and I read all of those. So if you want to send me a message there, you can do it as well. If you forget my email or whatever, just send me an email through that contact. So very easy. But yeah, I'll be thinking about that, the live sculpt off that's going to be happening very, very soon at the ZBrush Summit. I advise everybody to, even if you don't compete, if you want to just do it on the side, but yeah, it's a great experience. So I highly recommend it. And as always, I give away my user interface and my brushes for free. Go check that out over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Thanks everybody again for hanging out, and we will see you all next Monday or tomorrow if I can manage a live stream on my own channel. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you then. Take care. We'll see ya.